Hey friends, welcome to this fertility yoga class. I want to remind you before we get started that no single practice is going to instantly impact your uterine lining or your egg quality. Despite what other YouTube videos, Instagram reels might claim, fertility is not a single step solution. Good fertility requires optimum health. And to create optimum health in the body, you need to look at your sleep, you need to look at your stress levels, making sure that you're eating good, nutritious food, moving your body in a way that makes you feel both strong and also gets the blood pumping, the circulation moving, having practices to maintain good mental health, and also being in quality relationships that make you feel emotionally secure. All of these things work together to create optimum health, and the result of this is being fertile. So if you are struggling with infertility, I'd like to encourage you to stop looking for the single answer and to start working holistically on your whole body, your whole life, and making sure that you feel good in all areas of your life, not just hyper-focusing on fertility, which often creates more stress. I often work with women who say they're trying to do everything right and it's just creating stress. If perfectly is creating more stress in your body, it's potentially doing more harm than good. So I offer you this fertility yoga practice today with that in mind. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to do the whole class. Modify things if you need. This particular class will be suitable for all stages of the cycle, but if you do want classes specifically targeted for the different stages of the cycle and working with menstrual cycle awareness, you can find them in my online yoga circle, and the links for that will be below. Without further rambling from me, let's take a deep breath together. Come back into our bodies and get started on this class. So I want you to come into a comfortable seat that might be having your legs crossed. You could sit up on a chair if this isn't comfortable or even accessible for you today. You could put the legs out straight if that feels better. We're going to find the knees with the hands, and we're just going to take some really gentle pelvic circles. So like we're stirring the lower half of the body with the top half of the body, rocking and rolling over those sit bones and starting to invite the breath into the body in a conscious way. So instead of just breathing and not really knowing that it's happening, I want you to consciously notice when you inhale through the nose and consciously notice when you exhale through the nose. Good. Maybe you close down the eyes as we start to reverse in the opposite direction, inviting the gaze inwards, becoming aware of your own body. In this practice, in this space today that we share together. And I really want to invite you to drop those expectations. Expectations of needing to do things exactly right. Expectations of where you thought you should be in your life by now. Expectations of all the things you should be doing, you think you must be doing, that you're falling behind on. All of these self-created expectations, or maybe societal expectations. We're going to drop them just for the next 20 minutes or so. Give ourselves a little peace away from the pressure of all that. Coming back to center, opening the eyes. Let's take the arms wide as we inhale, sitting up tall, reaching the hands to sky. And then exhale, bring the elbows down, cactus arms. Inhale, reach the fingers up a little, and then exhale, turn to the left. Doesn't matter if you can't go too far, starting to move into some spinal rotation here. And then inhale back through center. Exhale in the opposite direction. Inhale to center. Take the arms all the way to sky. Interlace the fingers. Take the hands over to one side. Stretching into the side body. We're just warming up that upper body today. Back through center, over to the opposite side. See if you can let the shoulders drop away from the ears. So physically dropping that weight that we carry in this space. Inhale. Release the hands. I want you to interlace the hands behind you this time. Draw the shoulder blades together, open through the heart, shift the gaze to the sky if that feels okay. And then gently release the hands back to heart. Let's do a few seated cat-cows. So inhale, open through the heart. Exhale, round, look towards the belly. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale. One more of these. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's take both legs nice and wide. Now your seated wide leg fold might not look like mine. Your legs might be something like this, and that's completely okay. What I want you to focus on is tilting the pelvis forward. So if you're feeling a lot of stretch through the inner thigh here, you might need to lift the bottom up a little bit so that you can tilt the pelvis forward. You could sit up on a rolled blanket or on a block or something like that. That will give the hamstrings a little bit more space. And then I want you to inhale, sit nice and tall. And then exhale, just gently lean forward. Just going to go gently, inhaling and exhaling, rocking back and forth. Gently soothing our body, but also opening up this space, releasing any tension, stagnant energy, encouraging good circulation. Inhale, sit tall, and exhale, fold. So imagine you're rocking yourself, self-soothing. Maybe you notice that you can start to go a little deeper in the pose as the legs start to warm. Good, and then come back to center. I want you to reach one hand down the leg and the other arm's coming up and over. As you exhale, we're coming into a twist. Bring the hand behind, look over the shoulder, hold onto the outside of that opposite knee, just as a little bit of a brace. And then come back, facing center, reaching down the opposite leg. Exhale, we find the twist. And then coming back to center, we're going to repeat this once more on each side. So remember when I was on a fertility journey, so I had 3 losses in less than 12 months. My yoga practice became a bit of a touchstone for me each morning. It was the thing that I could return to. It was a space of my own, a space that I could be in my own thoughts and whatever they might be that day. Some days it was extreme sadness. Some days it was anger. And so it was, yes, a physical practice, but it was also less about the physical practice. The important part for me was the breath, was moving my body and being in my body instead of living up here. Bring the feet together, make a little diamond shape with the legs. Hold on to the shins. Inhale as you sit tall. And exhale as you fold. So I'd like you to invite that intention into your practice today, to let this be your space to feel whatever you need to feel. To let go of those expectations and that constant seeking for answers. And just see if you can inch your way. It's okay if you can't get there today, but see if you can creep your way a little bit closer to some acceptance of this journey and what it looks like for you. Yes, it sucks. I wish that no one struggled with fertility. I wish no one experienced losses. But there are many of us who have, and many of us who do, and that's the reality of our situation. We can waste precious energy fighting that, or we can find a way to accept that that's what is. And in spite of that, find a way to live our happy lives anyway. That's what I want for you. When you're ready, I want you to come up and over. We're coming into a kneeling lunge. Bring the left foot forward to start. Bring the hands to the ground. We'll keep them grounded for this first little bit and just rock and roll your way back and forwards.
Good, and then I want you to press into the hands, lift that back knee up, and edge that front foot out a little bit wider. So bring the foot to the outer blade, let the knee rock out to the side, and see if you can rock into those hips a little bit more. Maybe you even come down onto the forearms, if that feels good. Keep pressing through that back heel. And then bring that back knee down, bring the hands back, and I want you to bring the hand into the inside of that knee and gently press it out, opening through the heart. Breathing here, it's quite intense, opening through the hips. Good, and then ground the hands back down, bring the weight into that back knee. Step this back knee back and press the foot towards the sky. There's a lot of backs in that sentence. As you inhale, I want you to press the foot to the sky. And then exhale, we're going to bring the nose in towards the knee. Inhale, press the foot up. Good. Exhale, bring the nose into knee. Exhale. Draw the knee in. This time I want you to ground through both hands, so feel stable in the hands. And I want you to open the knee out to the side and around and then back in, as if you're drawing with a pencil or a crayon that's attached to the knee. So you're drawing circles with that knee. One more here. Good, and then I want you to draw that knee in towards the nose, and then we're going to hook that leg up and over as we take a seat back into our cow face pose. Don't worry if you come off your mat a little bit, that's fine. If you need to adjust the legs, please do so. If that bottom knee doesn't feel good, take it out straight. And then inhale and sit tall. And exhale and gently lean forward. So you should still feel this stretch through the hips, maybe through the glutes. We're just going to come back to that little gentle rock. Just mindfully rocking in our practice, using this as a way to soothe our nervous system. Good. Release the hands back down, come up and over those knees. Hands down as you untangle the legs. Take the knees wide. We're just going to sit back into our child's pose for a moment. Hands can be out in front or they can find their way around towards the heels. Rest the forehead down. Good. Next breath. Slowly coming back up to that tabletop. We're going to step the opposite leg forward and come back into that kneeling lunge. So rocking and rolling here. Really just exploring how the hips feel. You might notice that one side is a lot tighter than the other. That's okay, mine is too. Typically it's your dominant side is a lot tighter than the non-dominant side. So the one you don't use as much has more fluidity, more flexibility. And then we tuck the back toes, come up into that lizard variation. So ground the hands, let the front foot roll out to the outer blade, let the knee fall out. Finding forearms if that feels good for you. And then inhale, come back to forearms. Bring the back knee down, bring the hand to the inside of the knee as you gently press out, open through the hip. Big breath in here through the nose and let it go on the exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. Good. Bring the hands back down. Ground through both hands as you step the foot back. Make sure the hands are underneath the shoulders. If you need to adjust, please do so. Press the foot to the sky on the inhale. And then on the exhale, draw the nose to knee. Inhale, press. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And now we take those circles as if you have a pencil on the knee. So try to keep the weight even through the hands as you make circles through the hips. You'll probably be building a fair bit of heat here. So if you do need to rest, remember you can always come back to child's pose. You can always lie on the belly and catch the breath. But see if you can keep breathing. This time, draw the knee in towards the nose and then step the leg up and over as we find cow face on this side. So again, you can straighten out that bottom leg if that feels better in your body. Big breath in, press the sit bones into the mat, and then exhale, gently rock forwards. Inhale as you sit tall. Exhale as you rock forwards. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Well done. Let's untangle the legs and stay seated on our bottom. So readjust yourself on your mat. I want you to bring the feet about hip distance apart and then bring the hands behind you so that the fingertips are pointing towards your bottom. And then as you inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up. We come into our reverse tabletop. If it feels nice for your head and neck, you can rest the head behind you. Keep pressing into the hands. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin into the chest, bring the hips down and lift them up. So we're going to do a few dips like this. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale, inhale. So remember I said a part of good health is both strength, feeling strong in your body, but also circulation. So something that gets that heart rate up a little bit. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last one, bring the bottom down, press it up. Take the bottom down, hug the knees in towards the chest, make yourself as small as you possibly can. And then exhale, sigh it out through the mouth as you take the legs long. So I think sometimes people mistake fertility yoga as needing to be so gentle, and that if you possibly get your body too hot or move too intensely, you're going to risk your chances of falling pregnant. That is not the case. I do teach quite gentle yoga when I'm teaching to fertility clients because most of those clients are already up here. They're stressed in their working lives. They're often professional women. They're doctors, they're teachers, they're professors, and they're already at this elite stage in their lives. And the fertility piece is the one that they can't push through and work harder in order to conceive. Often fertility is asking us to step back. And a slow and gentle yoga practice is often the space that allows us to reflect and allows us to make better choices in our life as a whole. So that's why my yoga classes for fertility are often gentle. It certainly doesn't mean though that for fertility your yoga practices can't be more intense or even shouldn't be more intense. If you lead quite a sedentary life and you don't have a physical practice that gets you in your body, gets that circulation going, fertility yoga that is a little bit stronger, that builds a little bit of heat. We are building a little bit of heat today, and I don't think it's just about the fact that it's Queensland summer here. That can be good on your fertility journey, but it is all about balance and really listening to what's going to be right for your body. Without further ado, let's forward fold here. So if you need to and need to make space for the hamstrings, you can bend the knees and gently fold over the legs in this way, or you can take them out long, lift the chest, and see if you can feel that fold coming from the hips. So don't worry about getting to the legs. Just feel that stretch down the back of the legs. Keep pressing the thighs down, drawing the toes back towards you. And again, finding that breath, that awareness of body. Good. Scoot yourself forward a little so that you can come down to lie on your back. I'm going to come into a few rounds of a bridge pose. So bring the feet in towards the hips. They don't have to be super close to the bottom, just in at about hip distance, so that when you press into the feet and rise the hips up, it feels comfortable here in your bridge. And again, we're going to work with movement, exhaling down and inhaling up. Closing down the eyes if that feels good. Just staying up for a few breaths here, squeezing the knees in towards each other. If you'd like to add on a little bit, you could come up onto the toes, lifting the hips higher still. Breathing here. And then slowly rolling the hips all the way back down. Finding now the knees or the shins or the soles of the feet. Coming into a happy baby here, gently rocking from side to side. Been a bit of an unintentional theme through this class of this gentle rocking, soothing motion. And come and find stillness, gently drawing the knees down towards the armpits, opening through the inner thigh, the groin, the hips. It's time now to quieten down, finding a little stillness at the end of our practice. You can either bring the feet together or take the legs out straight, coming to a full corpse position, finding Shavasana. I want you to notice your breath here. Notice that as you moved, your breath increased, your circulation increased. And now as you rest, it all starts to slow. Perhaps you could imagine the circulation of blood in your body slowing down with your breath. Almost as if you could see that blood pumping. Maybe even bring the hand to heart and notice the slowing of the heart. Keep lengthening and deepening each breath, inviting that circulation to slow. Extend the invitation to the thoughts that might still be racing. Invite them to also slow. Steady, focus. See if you can bring awareness to the third eye, the place between the eyebrows. And just keep your attention here in this space. Let any physical tension here relax. You to call to mind an image in this third eye of you at your healthiest and happiest. What are the daily practices that you do when you're feeling your best? How do you move your body? Not in the way that you think you should or you've been told you should, but in the way that feels good for you. What food do you put in your body? Again, not in the way that you think you should, or that every secret fertility diet has told you that you must, What feels good in your body? Who do you spend time with when you're your healthiest and happiest? What do you spend your time doing with them? Perhaps imagine yourself going through a typical day. Allow yourself to visualize those things, those practices, those habits and rituals that help you to feel your best. Imagine yourself doing them, and imagine yourself feeling as good as you will feel. Keep this visualization going for the next 5 breaths. When you're ready, start to slowly bring your awareness back to the physical body where it rests on the floor. Maybe you wriggle fingers and toes. You can stretch out or move in any way that feels good for you. In your own time, come over onto one side and then slowly bring yourself back up to have a seat. As we bring our hands to heart at the end of our practice, I just want to remind you, you know best what's right for you. And I know it can feel scary when you're on a fertility journey to feel like there's something wrong with me, I don't know what it is, and I need to find the answer, or I need to find the expert who's going to fix me. And while gathering information and seeking information and talking to experts can be great, at the end of the day, you are your best advocate. And you are going to know what feels right and what doesn't. You can pick and choose from their advice. Don't feel like you have to do it all. I'll be sending you all my love and hope on this journey.